Hey, so it's that time of year when everybody's talking about what they're going to do next year, what their goals are. At least in my world, that's what's going on. And I absolutely love this time of year. I live for the energy of this time of year with entrepreneurs. And I wanted to share with you a little behind the scenes of the three-step process that I recommend everybody go through if they're an entrepreneur planning for the following year. So you might have planned for your business before, you might have set big goals for your business before, and maybe some of them didn't stick. Or maybe you changed, your plan halfway through the year and you're starting to feel like, what's the point of setting the goals now if I always change my mind or my business change or my launches change or my plans change next year? What's the point of it? And if that's the case, you're not alone. I did the exact same thing. I would, write out this whole list of income goals, project targets, all of this stuff. And then, look back at it 6 months or a year later and realize like, I'm actually not that much closer to what these big goals are. So what's missing? So here's the process that I really recommend right from the beginning, which I think should be now. So step number one is to create your big vision and your plan. So I really think, well, not your plan, sorry, your big vision and your dreams, right? So I think this part, the dreaming, is where entrepreneurs shine. This is where we do the best. We're idea people. We're always coming up with a new project, a new idea, all of that stuff. So go deep in this part. Ask yourself the questions like about how, what you want 2021 to look like. What are some of the things that you want to create? What are some of the big projects you want to do? What are some of the passion projects you want to take on? What are some of the new strategies you want to try, or new software, new team members? Like, create the big dream and the vision of the big picture of 2021, and do that as an entrepreneur. So like, go there, be dreamy, be wild, set big targets. Then we move into step two, and now is when I want you to shift from being entrepreneur version of you to acting like the CEO. So now it's time to enter your role as the CEO of your business, assuming you are the CEO. And now is when you create the master plan. So this is when you get clear on quarterly targets, um, you know, monthly goals, projections, sales targets, revenue goals, your weekly plans, your project plans, all of that stuff, your team growth, where you want to be spending on advertising, what your margins are going to be. All of that stuff happens now in planning phase. And you want to leave dreamy entrepreneur version of you aside now. She's done the dreaming. She's thought of this like vision of what she wants the year to be. Now, CEO version of you has to say, okay, here's what's realistic. Here's where we can put that into action. And here's what we have to do in order to make that a reality. Okay, so now you get to be CEO version. Take your time here, plan everything out. I'm hosting a workshop soon this month on planning your entire year, where I will get into this part of it, into the CEO part of things. So come, if you want to come, I'll leave a link somewhere here. Get detailed here though, okay? This is where you create the daily action steps that you're going to take in order to achieve the target that entrepreneur version of you created. Then you have to move into step three, and this is where I see a lot of people resist. Now you have to move into execution. And this is where you leave entrepreneur version of you, you leave CEO version of you, and you step into employee version of you. So there is a version of you running your business that has to show up as a star employee. And what that generally means, in my experience, is you have to not be the person who's like, oh, but what about this new idea? Or what about this new project? Or what about this new strategy? That's already been taken care of. If an employee came into my company and said, what if we do this? What if we do that? I would be like, we have a plan, we have a vision. Now it's time to execute. And I want an employee to show up and be incredible at executing the plan that we've already created. And you have to do the exact same thing for your business, unless you've literally hired out every single job that has to be done. You need to show up and execute on the things that you really want. This is where, you really can take things to the next level, or you can leave a lot of stuff on the table and you can come back to that, goal list that you have in 6 months or 9 months or a year from now and be like, ooh, what happened to all those things that we really wanted? And then somewhere along the way, we just didn't do them, So this is really where the magic starts to happen. But you do have to shift out of that entrepreneur and CEO mindset into the employee, the star employee. You should be the best employee on your team. Yeah, so these are the real tangible action steps. You want to set these. You want to be very clear with what these are going to be for employee version of you and the rest of your team. And then when January comes, or maybe you want to get a head start right now, start tackling that to-do list that directly leads to the plan, that directly leads to the vision. Okay, does that make sense? So this is my strategy for, almost guaranteeing that we hit every target that we set. Of course, things happen or we have new incredible visions, but for the most part, we follow through on everything that we decide on right now in November and December of the year before. And the way we do it is actually using that 3-part framework. So if you haven't been doing that, try doing it now. If you want to map out the entire year with me, like I said, we are hosting a workshop on exactly that in a couple weeks. So grab your spot. It's alysacoleman.ca/plan, I believe. There'll be a link anyway. I don't know why I'm trying to remember my URLs. But anyway, I hope to see you there because I think it'll be really fun. And I want to I want to hear what all of your big visions are. I want to hang out with the, entrepreneur versions of you. And otherwise, I will chat with you soon. Okay, bye.